why the Trinamul believes that Mamata Banerjee is the ideal opposition captain in the Khela Hobe of 2024.
2021 election was under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. After this particular result, you see, the entire opposition in India and the anti-BJP voters, they have some thought and they have a clear idea about the leadership of Mamata Banerjee, and they are really feeling that it is Mamata Banerjee who can lead the opposition, who can unite the opposition against this particular NDA government.
Let her first get elected as an MLA in West Bengal Assembly before thinking of challenging Prime Minister Modi. But having said that, we are in a democracy and everybody is free to throw their hat in the ring. But let's take a step back. The Prime Minister of India's job is not so uninspiring that anybody can aspire for it. You need a leader who has a vision for the country which towers over the incumbent's vision or his governance. I don't see Mamata Banerjee has covered herself in glory as far as her governance is concerned and as far as the state of affairs in West Bengal is concerned.
We've seen this time and again. Delhi, tends to sort of gravitate in the direction of whoever at that particular moment has the momentum. 2013 and Arvind Kejriwal had the momentum. Even challenged Mr. Modi in Varanasi. What happened in 2014 elections? 2018, you might recall Rahul Gandhi appeared to have the momentum when the Congress won 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. What happened in 2019 summer? So I think it is premature at this stage.
This time she is more cautious. She actually burnt her fingers when the president election drama was there in Delhi. We all remember what happened with Mulayam Singh Yadav. This time I found her more cautious, and she is not saying that the restructuring of UPA, formation of the front, these are not the issues actually. She is explaining that I want to be a catalyst for the momentum.
In the state, these kind of mathematics can work really well. But when you look at the national level, all of these opposition parties get entangled in a classic zero-sum game. They just are not able to shed the burdens or the pulls and the pressures that come in to effectively forge a Mahagathbandhan.
Mahua Moitra saying that the BJP is behaving in a shameless and desperate manner. You didn't even allow an IT standing committee to meet today by not allowing a quorum. You physically stopped some of the members from attending it. This is unprecedented. Your response?
Today, in the Business Advisory Committee, there was a discussion and Congress party and all the other opposition leaders were asked, you come and discuss, aap aaiye, charcha kariye. But this sort of pandemonium, this sort of cluelessness by the Congress party and the other opposition leader, it is historic in nature.
No, sir, sir, I just need to ask you this. Are you telling me that the government of India is ready to discuss Pegasus? What is the government hiding? What are you running away from on Pegasus?
I am saying this time and again, in the Business Advisory Committee, the opposition is ready to raise any issue, including Pegasus. So I don't understand this pointlessness. I don't understand this when the entire purpose of the opposition is to derail the monsoon session. Since day zero, Prime Minister has said, please come and have a discussion on any issue. But Rajdeep ji, today the theatrical intervention of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, the nation must know that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is now talking about the spirit of constitution. He has no right, he has no locus standi. He is coming from a political institution, he is coming from a structure. There is nothing democratic, not even an iota of Congress is democratic in nature. And now they are giving us lessons on democracy. This is unacceptable.
Firstly, this investigation by top-notch 17 news investigative agencies from Le Monde of France to Guardian of the United Kingdom to Washington Post of the US and several others. These are marquee names in news investigative journalism, people that the BJP in the past have quoted when they were in the opposition. Let me remind you. Anyways, this has spread across 45 countries. And many of those countries have launched a probe on the basis of what has come to knowledge in public domain. From Hungary, Mexico, Morocco, Israel. The Israeli defense minister has gone down to meet the French president because they're obviously very upset about what has happened. We are perhaps the only democracy in the world where the the government of the day wants to turn a blind eye and wants to shut up everybody who's raising these questions.
India and the United States are sending to China with these images, especially after Xi Jinping's visit to Ningxi just a couple of weeks ago.
I think the Indians and the Americans are signaling their intent to raise the profile of the Tibet issue. The Tibet issue has long been neglected even by India. Even as China has been playing the Kashmir card, playing the Arunachal Pradesh card against India, India has been hesitant to raise the profile of the Tibet issue. But recently when Modi publicly greeted the Dalai Lama on his birthday, that suggested that there might be a subtle change in Indian policy. And I think President Xi Jinping's secrecy-shrouded Tibet visit, which began with the India border, that provocative action of Xi Jinping has come as a wake-up call for everyone in New Delhi.
What Secretary Blinken has done today is merely a pinprick and nothing more, nothing less. I think it is a message that that US is sending to China to say that, look, we can play the Tibetan card, but it will all hinge on the US relations with China. And if the relations are strong, it is forgotten. If there is a relations take a dip, then the Tibetan issue is raised. But I don't think that any comfort can be drawn from that, because one swallow does not make it a summer. And I don't think that the fact that he met in Delhi also means anything, because we could not have told the Secretary Blinken to meet with the representative of His Holiness.
The fact of the matter is that there is a dramatic shift into not the defenses, I would say, but in the air infrastructure all along Tibet and Xinjiang, in all the airfields and all the areas. And China still retains the 2 divisions that it had in Rodok in the areas of Aksai-Chin. So what I would say is that there is a kind of permanence brought into the forces that have been brought into the Tibetan plateau, and in proximity to the line of actual control. And this, like rightly pointed out by Professor Chelani, the visit of Xi Jinping towards Nyangchi was indeed a provocative act.